at my life, I want to find the things. Wake up in the morning, saw my face, I'm in the magazine. Word.
Well, welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome to the Wormhole, I guess. Episode 11. We're here already with your whole squads here in the back.
With the Goons.
Yeah, goes on that. Do you know where?
Born and raised here, Indio. Was born at JFK. My dad, yeah.
Not that detail.
Okay, my bad.
I don't need another room.
Room number 405.
At 11:45.
Morning or night, baby, bro?
I'm night baby.
Night baby, all right.
Yeah. But yeah, my mom's from here. My dad's originally from Haiti.
Oh shit, bro.
Yeah, he grew up in Haiti and then lived in Boston and then came back from Cali.
When did you start rapping? That's like what kind of want to get to.
So I started doing music because my first thing I did, I was in Drumline, so that was my main thing.
Mm-hmm.
I started from 2nd grade.
Did you go to new high school or no?
I went to Shadow Hills High School.
Shadow Hills. Oh, yeah.
So I did Drumline over there, and then eventually I knew that Sonny was doing music and everything else, and I saw him with his first song, and then he had to perform right here on the fairgrounds and everything else. And eventually I met Steven, eventually I met Slim G, and then eventually just seeing them how they work together, it's like, let me try this out. Mm-hmm. And so I tried it out in the beginning. At first it's like kind of a struggle because you're just
with trial and error. This with everything you do. That's how it is.
But honestly, they kind of helped me a lot. Getting their perspective from each person, it's
just starting.
Yeah. So they tell me, hey, how about you switch it this way, or how about you talk about something this way? So just having a lot of people just to give you advice about certain things. Because either you can take it or you can flip it and make your own advice.
Yeah, and were you rapping before that, before you started hitting them up, or you were just...
No, I was just making music, to be honest. I was just playing the piano. I had a friend that...
So you play the piano too?
Yeah, piano, drum. Music was my passion.
Yeah.
I just loved, Drumline. I loved when I did Marchingband. I loved it when I did Drumline competitions against different schools.
That's sick.
That shit was just
Nick Cannon and shit.
Bro, that's what inspired me, to be honest. I remember watching the show. My dad's like, hey, you need to watch this movie. And I was like, I don't want to watch no dumb drumline.
Nick Cannon and shit.
Yeah, at first, in 2nd grade, they used to show you videos of, the marching band. I'm like, man, this is stupid. Who the hell wants to be standing outside and just do all this stuff? And then
you saw the movie and you're like...
Yeah, that shit was awesome. I wanted to go against other drummers. That was my biggest thing, just to see who was, better on this side of the valley.
And you were doper, or...
I was good. I was there. I was there. I think I went 3 years. I went to championships. Mm-hmm. And then my senior year, I won sweepstakes with my drumline and everything. So at Shadow Hills, I made some...
What's the sweepstakes? What is that?
So sweepstakes is when there's 12 or 18 marching bands, and they divide the trophies in different sections. So you have your drumline, you have music quality, you have
the whole thing together.
Visual effects. And so that year, I think it was either Arcadia, and it was out in, I forgot what part, but they had drumline competition. We're against 18. And so that year was the first time I performed for that marching band for my senior year.
Yeah.
And right there and then we won sweepstakes.
So you won all the competitions?
Yeah.
That's sick.
Stop fucking laughing.
It's all good. Sonny, you want to come in here or what?
No.
They kind of motivate me. At first, I wasn't too confident about it.
No.
Because you're trying something new and usually
No, that's how it is with anything. At least you got the courage to start, because most people, maybe they think of maybe I should do this, but they don't even give themselves a chance. And at least you were able to, you reached out to somebody else that's already doing it, and you said, hey, you guys can help me out, or could you guys look at my stuff? And it's good that you take criticism too, because some people be like, nah, I'm not gonna take advice from you. Fuck this shit.
I'm the total opposite. If you give me advice or criticism, I'm either gonna take it and try to figure out what I can do better for myself, or either take me maybe a couple minutes or a couple days, no matter what. But I try to break it down and try to give it to myself, the advice that they're giving to me.
Yeah, that's sick. What's the album you just dropped? What's if you were to describe it, what's the overall vibe? Who do you recommend?
So the album or EP, it's called Emotions. So the Emotions, pretty much, it's an R&B type of hip hop. It's pretty much a lot of it's mostly about a lot of love stuff and everything. Mm-hmm. So each song has a name to it, you want to say. So each song has a name to it. I have features with Slum. I have features with Steven. I have feature with Bree. And the cool thing about it, the one thing I wanted from each song, that aspect or the idea of that song. Mm-hmm. So each song, from the intro to outro, they did a great job.
That's sick.
And the nervous thing about it was the first thing putting it out. I remember I was at Steven's house and we're trying to put it there, fix all the editing, and just pressing the enter button. And it's how about we just wait another month or 2 months? I didn't know if I wanted to do it or not.
Yeah.
because it's like
you
take that chance.
You were thinking you weren't ready, but you're never ready. When
right.
No matter you're never gonna be ready. So sometimes you just have to jump in, and you don't know what's gonna happen.
Right.
That's pretty sick. What's how long did it take you guys to finish the project?
I want to say.
Was this your first time recording, or do you do some little songs on the side?
At first, I had songs that I had recorded just to see what I could make better, like of the song or the lyrics, and then eventually, like, I had another song that was like getting better and everything, so I didn't use it. I remember I think there was 2 songs we didn't use that were on the album. Mm-hmm. I think it was the intro and outro, but we found another. I like the beat, and I was like, no, let me try this. This sounds better as an intro, and this sounds better than the outro.
Yeah, so you just mixed around.
So yeah, they pretty much helped me with the figuring out my voice and everything else. Because at first it's like you don't know how you sound. It's like, oh, once you have the headphones on, you're next to the mic and you hear yourself, like, oh damn, like you can hear yourself clearly.
Yeah, it's like a whole different experience.
But yeah.
And what kind of like artists do you follow, like that inspired you, like, or influenced you is a good word?
So I grew up like listening to a lot of R&B. Mm-hmm. So like Anthony Hamilton, a little bit Indio, Tyrese Gibson, all that stuff. From rapping side, J. Cole. J. Cole's a big inspiration. Yeah. J. Cole, Nas, Biggie. Who else? There's a Common.
You probably have like a lot of like views on music since you played in a marching band, because I know that's more of a classical stuff, more of the traditional stuff. So you probably have more appreciation of how to create a song, because you literally were in a freaking band. Like that's cool, because I wish I would have learned how to play an instrument. Like I don't even know how to read freaking notes or nothing. Like I always wanted to play guitar and maybe a piano, but I can't read music for shit.
In the beginning, it was hard because I learned by ear. So like when I hear like the piano part, I'm like, oh, let me try to put headphones on and try to learn it. But then they used to give me music, and it's like, okay, what's this note? But eventually, like, if you love what you do, like you perfect your craft.
Yeah, so just practice.
Yeah. So eventually, I read how to like read notes, like patterns and everything, and then obviously when from band they have an orchestra, so you have your percussion, you have your winds and everything else. So I compare that to like listen to any other song. You hear the background, the 808s, you hear little melodies, harmonies and everything else. So everything has a placement for where it needs to be at. Yeah. So that's how I looked at it when I was either.
So you have a good understanding of how to structure songs, how to produce them. That's pretty sick.
Yeah. The cool thing about it is like each one of us like writes totally different.
Yeah, everybody has a different whole vibe.
Yeah, sometimes we're like, why the hell are you doing it that way? Like that sounds irritating. Because I know I write totally different from Sonny, from Steven, especially from Slum.
Have you performed live already or no?
Yeah, my first performance was at the Hood.
Yeah.
And after that, I had a performance at Bart's. So my first performance was kind of, you get nervous and everything else. And on top of that, I was like super sick. I was coming down with the flu. So the whole time I was like, okay, make sure you don't forget your lyrics. Make sure you don't run out of breath. There's so many things you got to put in. Okay, are you looking this way? Make sure you're moving around. Make sure you don't stay still. So you have to add all those adjustments. It's different from performing like, I have a drum. I can drum. That's cool. I can perform.
Right a drum. 100,000 people.
Yeah. But me saying words that might.
It's a whole different.
It's totally different. I was like, damn. I said, do I really want to do this? I was like, all right. And then once I did that, my first performance, I was like, okay, cool. And I had somebody kind of record it for me. So I looked at it, what little things I could change.
And what do you think of it? Like, do you think it was going to be like better than you expected or worse?
I really didn't know what to expect. I think that was the main thing that I was trying to, like, I was psyching myself out. I was like, okay, let me picture how I would do this or this movement. I didn't know. I think that was the one thing that kept me kind of nervous a little bit because I didn't know what to expect. Yeah. And I didn't expect to see people there looking at me to like, all right, y'all can turn around. Like, you don't have to look at me. Yeah. But it was different. It was nerve-wracking. But eventually, just watching the videos and watching them perform, they've been doing it longer than me. So watching Steven perform or Slum, even Slum first time performance, he did the best job. Even Sonny, I remember watching him when I was like in middle school. Or, what was it, middle school?
Freshman year.
Yeah, his freshman year, he had a performance. I'm like, oh yeah. I was like, he didn't look nervous at all. And then he comes up to me, he's like, oh, I was nervous. But even Steven too. Steven can put on a performance.
Nah, Steven's a natural.
Yeah, he gets everybody hyped. Even though people are like, he's sitting down, he's like, hey, get up, come on, like, walk around and everything. But he gets people going.
Yeah, that's good.
It's provocative.
It's provocative. It's provocative.
But yeah.
That's pretty good. Oh, shit. That's pretty good. Do you guys have any events coming up soon?
We have a performance coming up soon, right?
21st and 29th.
Yeah, Bart's.
Oh, I guess Bart's. I'll probably head out there. That sounds pretty sick. I got invited for the Hood. Hamilton hit me up, but he ended up not going last minute, so I didn't fucking go. I feel bad. I know, I burned. If you didn't invite me directly, I had to get a second hand. Not saying. No, but yeah, I'll check it out for sure. Bart's, that sounds pretty good because I just like to go out. I like this year, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna start going out to meet more people, to just get out of your comfort zone, to start doing this. That's why I started this podcast too, just because like when I was making YouTube videos. I've been making YouTube videos since like 2015, and I was never really consistent. And I was always doing some other like stuff that I wasn't really like happy doing. And then I was trying to promote my stuff, and I was like, there's no one doing like creative work here in the Valley. So I was like, you know what? If no one's doing it, I'm gonna start creating it. So I started doing a podcast, and then there's already 11th episode, so it's pretty cool.
That's dope.
Yeah, just trying to get more people. Like, it's cool, like just conversations with artists or other creatives or just interesting people. Like, have a platform for people in the Valley just to talk and stuff. That's like the way that's gonna be, because no one's gonna be using the radio like 10, 15 years down the road. Like, times are changing. The radio, that shit's gonna die. It's gonna be on podcast too, and it's cool. Like, you'll be able to have your interview on podcast form, and I'll put it on my YouTube channel too, so that way you guys could have access to it and stuff. That's pretty cool.
That's dope.
Yeah.
I was telling them the first thing that people look up, even if they want to see a music video or something that was funny, the first thing they go to is YouTube. Yeah. Literally, that's the first thing they go to.
This is the second largest search engine behind Google. So, like, sometimes if you got to Google something, you don't even, I'm not saying Google. If you want to search for something, you don't go on Google, you go on YouTube. Like, that's what I do it. Like, if I need to find out how to edit something or do something, I don't go on Google. I go on YouTube and find tutorials. Tutorials is crazy, man.
I usually feel like the littlest things. Like, sometimes, okay, how do you do this or how do you do that? Especially with music videos. That's a good thing, because like I remember back in the day just watching TV, watching like 106 in Park and everything, watching music videos, and now you can go on YouTube and like watch it over and over and over again.
No, and it's like, it's so much amazing content. Of course there's a lot of dumb stuff, but they have everything on YouTube. Like, if you look up how to tie your shoes, there's probably like hundreds of videos on how to tie your shoes, how to do a tie, how to fucking anything, bro. It's
3 million views and everything.
No, yeah, like when I was thinking of doing a channel just like trolling, kind of like, how to put on your shoes, how to put on your shirt, just a video for every single simple thing, because people fucking search for that stuff. And that's I find that's a good way to kind of grow on YouTube, is to make content that people are looking for. Like on my channel, I do a lot of Coachella content for the festival,
right? And
every Monday I make a Coachella video, because again, I was looking up Coachella tips. I was going to festival, and all the tips that they had was how to dress for Coachella, what kind of makeup to do for Coachella, but there wasn't actual tips of like going to the festival. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna make it, and I've already made like 30 freaking Coachella YouTube tip videos, and that's actually been helping my channel grow a little bit,
right?
Because people are searching for the Coachella stuff. So I make content that people are searching for, and that's kind of what I've been going over the last like 4 months. I just decided to go in on that, and then like I said, like you said, you were watching one of my vlogs. I finally started vlogging, and then the podcast, and I'm just fucking trying to pump a bunch of content, because we gotta take advantage of like the times and shit, and that's what it is. Everything moves too fast. You gotta start making content, start putting your stuff out there. So
especially with social media, like I was okay with social media, but I didn't know how much you gotta put into like social media. Like, if you're not doing anything, you don't have music out, okay, maybe look for some pictures or like little things. I didn't realize how much it is to put in. Like, you put in time. You're sitting there, like, as much as you don't want to be on social media, or you're just like, no, let me take a break.
Yeah, what I've been doing is more like when I get on social media, it's almost to post your content. Like, try not to just be there scrolling like for 30 minutes. Like, I still scroll down, see what people are doing, but I usually post, I check it for a little bit, and I turn off my notifications, just because I have the DMs, and I think just DMs, like likes, comments, all that shit, I turned it all off, because also, like, you don't want all that shit on your brain, like just all these notifications all day long. Like, it gets a little bit annoying. Like, you don't want to, I don't know, that's just the way I feel. Like, just unless it's something important like a DM or something that you actually need to reply to right away.
Right.
And you still want to be checking once an hour, check your comments, whatever, see people whatever they're talking about or whatever. Use the social media as a tool instead of something to just waste time, because
it's like an investment, if anything.
Yeah, you're investing your time, but you want to invest it the right way, not just mindless fucking zoning off. That's where a lot of ass pictures and shit. The fucking the thing that gets me sometimes is that the Discover page, like, because you know how they made it tailored to you and shit.
Yeah, and then there's like different like sections.
Like yeah. Now you could go in the rabbit hole now. Sometimes I just start watching some conspiracy. I have a lot of conspiracy shit on my videos. Well, Hamilton sends me a lot of conspiracy shit all day. It's all I fucking watch. Like half of my explore pages all like the government is, or like, oh, they're lying to you and shit. I'm all like going down the rabbit hole, fucking listening to that shit.
JFK is like the worst hospital ever.
It is.
It got a little better.
A little bit better. I was born there. Hey, they saved my life when I was little.
I remember one time I go there because I thought we got in a car crash.
Yeah.
And I went there, and there was this guy. He was tripping out like bad. There's a little girl. She's all like playing around, and the guy's all like, "She's got a gun. She's got a gun." I said, "What the fuck?" And I looked at the little girl, and she's just messing around playing with her doll. And this guy is like next to this other girl, and then he starts growling. I said, "Fuck no!" I said, "If he gets close to me, like I'm done."
Was he like a homeless guy or something?
I don't know. He was there, like he's been sitting there for like a cool hour or two. And usually, like, security says it, they'll just kick him out.
Yeah.
But I think he was, like, there to, like, actually get checked out.
Because
he went up to ask, like, are you guys ready? Or am I next? Whatever. But he was on a good one. And then security had to, like, he was running around in circles and everything.
Goddamn.
And I was like, what the hell? And then he, like, out of nowhere, he walked out and he ran in back in, like, hitting the doors. She's going. She has a gun. She's the devil. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, sounds like a freaking crackhead, bro.
I was like, what the fuck? I'm just trying to see if I'm okay. I ain't trying to deal with all this bullshit. It was like 12.
You see some crazy people, especially at, like, the ER and all that. Like, damn, all kinds of characters in there, man. It just, I don't know. Some people are just weird, bro. Like, I used to work over there at a gas station. A lot of homeless people there all the time. Fucking always. Like, they will come in. And then this dude would come in and tell me stories from, like, like, he wouldn't even tell me stories. He'll be just talking. He's like, remember fucking this lady? That girl was a bitch. Remember when she did this and this? I'm like, what the fuck is this we're talking about? And I was just, like, letting him talk, bro. I was like, oh, yeah, I remember that shit. And then he would just go on this crazy rant, like, all fucking cracking. And then he'll just walk out, like, in the middle of the sentence, he'll just walk out. And then he starts, like, cursing people. And, like, we try to kick him out, but they end up coming back. And I don't know how to deal with freaking...
Get it back.
Get it back. Wow. Dude, one time, too, there was you could see the train. So the train was stopped. And then there was this lady. She was on top of the train. She was on top of the train dancing, bro. And we're like, what the fuck? I recorded her. I have a little video on Twitter. I was like, what the fuck is this bitch doing? She was on a good one. There was this homeless lady. She was just dancing on top of the train. And then she crossed all the way here. And then she came to the store right after. And then she was talking shit like, hey, where the fuck's... She came in looking for somebody, and I was like, where are you hiding him? Where the fuck's he at? I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? And then I ended up calling the cops. I called the cops because she was on top of the train. I'm like, this bitch is about to get killed. Like, I don't want to fucking... just let her get killed. And then the cops came, and they just talked to her, but they didn't take her or nothing because they just take them to the hospital. Like, that's probably what happened. Or they take them to, like, a holding cell. They're back in the streets the next day fucking doing the same shit. I mean, I don't have nothing against, like, homeless people, but there's some characters for sure.
No, we had a weird one. We went to the gas station. It was me, him, and my cousin.
Yeah.
And we're just sitting there. We're just, like, waiting and everything. And this lady comes to the side of the right passenger side where my cousin's at, and she's asking, can you give me a ride home? And my cousin was just like, and the first thing he said, this is not my car. I asked my cousin, he's on the other side. I said, wow. And so she walks all the way around, and then she asks, Sonny, can I get a ride? And my cousin's like, he's like, well, you know, it's not my car, it's my dad's car. So
I didn't say that for myself.
but she asked me like, but you said this is my pop's car and everything else. And then after that, she walked, and I hears, I was like, what the fuck? She started crying, like bawling. And then she saw this guy walking to the gas station, stopped crying, just walked and followed him. I was like, what the fuck?
Nah, don't give rights to those type of people.
Oh no,
I wouldn't even give rights to, and like I don't know. I've seen too many movies where like you give somebody a ride and they do some crazy. They jack your car, some Hills Have Ice type shit. I'm not trying to do all that.
I was just tripping out. Why would you say, "Oh yeah, ask my cousin on the other side"? Wow. I was like, all right, I guess. I was just sitting in the back just watching this shit happen. That shit was funny as hell. But yeah.
What do you have, giving them a ride or not?
No, we just drove off. We were like, we gotta go.
We gotta go now. There was a lady at a I don't know if she was homeless, but she was asking for she was asking for money for her baby so she could buy her baby food and shit. Mm-hmm. And this girl looked like she was like 19, 20, but like she already looked kind of like she was on the streets and shit. And I was like, damn, that's fucked up. She was just begging to every driver, that's like whatever change they had for her baby, but there was no baby in the car or nothing. And it was like, this bitch is probably trying to buy drugs. Like, I don't know, maybe she did have a baby, but I don't know. It's just sometimes they get into that drug habit, and that's why I don't do drugs. That's
I was like, wait. That's good answer. I like it.
That's why I've been 12 hours sober today. I'm already on 12 hours today. Do you smoke?
I used to.
You don't smoke anymore?
Well, because I tried to get a job for security. Yeah. I didn't smoke for a whole year. Trying to get this job. I was about to get it. It was actually for JFK too. That's the funny shit too. It's for JFK, and then I was gonna get the job, but there was a lot of like old people, old heads, and everything. But they don't like me being there because I was younger. A lot of them can't.
They want somebody more experienced.
Yeah, and so I almost got the job. Like I passed my drug test and everything, and then the next day they call me and tell me, "Oh, someone bought us out. They bought the whole company and then like shut it down." I was like,
"Oh, like a new company took over?"
Yeah, I was like, "What? Like they do security?" I'm like, "Oh, I still get the job." And like, no, I was like, "What the hell?" A whole year, I was like, and it was so hard because like every time I go over, it's like, "You want to smoke?" No, it's fine. Like I can't, Fuck. But yeah, it was bad.
That's crazy. You still trying to do a security job? Or?
Yeah, I'm still trying to do security. Trying to do either at the Marriott's for loss prevention.
Have you tried looking at the Coachella stuff that's coming up? Because they usually hire people for 2 weekends at Coachella and then the Stagecoach, and they let you work like 18 hours a day, 16-hour shifts. Like some people make like a couple thousand over the weekends. Like 3 weekends in a row, you could be making some bang. You should look up. I think it's Bauer Security. Last time I checked, it was Bauer. The one that hired. They always need people for events, especially because Coachella and like there's like at least like 500 security that they need, and even people from LA come all the way down here just to work the Coachella Fest and shit.
That's crazy. Yeah, I have my dad's friend. Like he usually does all the security right there, and then he has like property near it, the Coachella, so they always get like bracelets and everything. Yeah. And so he told me about it. He's like, "You can do it. Just tell me whenever you want to do it." But usually when I went to go do it, I was in school, so I wasn't able to.
Yeah.
So I had night classes. I couldn't do morning classes. I would fall asleep.
Do you going to study right now? Or?
Yeah. Right now I'm taking online classes. I'm almost going to graduate. I just need like 2 or 3 more classes.
3 more classes? Yeah. What's your major? Or just doing...
Majoring in sociology, minoring in music.
Oh, that's good. So you've been taking courses and stuff?
Music's pretty cool. The program over at COD is kind of like,
Just the basics, nothing too crazy.
It's the basics, and then like how they go back, how everything like.
Well, you kind of already knew it too, right? Because of.
So the first class was super easy. It was just like I would literally just sit there, but the teacher was cool. She was all like, I finished my homework. Like I finished the whole book. Like that day they gave us the book. I was like, here, like I don't have to turn anything in. Here's a book. Like
you already knew everything.
Yeah, she's like, all right, I just need you to show up to class. And the cool thing about her, she lives in Apple Valley. So anytime it rained or snowed, class is canceled. I was like, yes.
That's crazy.
So that was like the best thing too. And then one of the music professors, he was cool, but he was so monotone and like his voice was like super low. So you always had to sit up front, or people would always like, you see like a row of like recorders or people's iPhones just to record him to hear what he was saying.
That low and shit?
He was that low.
That's crazy.
And he was like, and then when he get excited, he would like, his excitement was not like, it didn't even reach anywhere. It didn't even go from high, or it didn't even go like even lower. It just stayed at one like momentum.
That's great. Are you planning on going to colleges, or after just staying here local at the local colleges that we have here?
Right now, I'm thinking I was gonna go to what is it called? An all-black university. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to either go to Tuskegee. Somewhere out to like Fisk University and everything else. I wanted to try it out. It's a HBC, that's what it's called, HBC school. So they have like cool like programs and everything. Usually you only need, I think, 30 or 40 credits for you just to transfer.
Yeah.
But I wanted to finish here and get my AA first.
Yeah, and just secure that, and then from there look at your options and see what's up. So you and what about your music? Are you gonna continue, like, if you end up moving, or
no? So those HBC schools, like, there's certain schools. I think I forgot what school was that. Beyonce's dad went to that school, and he, like, where he got his contract. I forgot what he was his major was, but they have cool music program. Like, I wanted to go over those, like, type of, like, different schools, because the music over here, it's like more classical. We go more on the South, it's more like you get the South is where
that's the culture.
Yeah, that's like the pot of all music and everything else.
Yeah.
So I wanted to go out there and see what type of music was there. I know how to play classical music, like I knew that, right? But let me hear a little bit of jazz, let me hear a little this. So I have more of a variety when I listen to music, or say I want to start making music. Instead of me sticking to classical music, I mean, I listen to R&B music and everything else, but let me hear something different.
See how everything's made from people that are actually doing it.
Yeah.
So you're not just learning theory, you're actually learning from people practicing that stuff.
Because you can learn from theory. I mean, you can learn from just notes and notes and notes, but I feel like you experience it and you seeing it from your eyes and actually your ears, and just like listen to it and see how people vibe. It's the best thing. Either you get when somebody starts singing, like someone has like dope ass vocals, and then they're singing high pitches and these runs, like you get these chills, like damn, like this person's actually like killing it.
Yeah, and then sometimes like we might take it for granted, because if you're not aware of what it takes to create music, you don't know how awesome that thing that they're watching. Some people could just be like, oh, it's just music. It's like, oh, whatever, it's just jazz, like fucking elevator music I can listen to. But,
right.
But people don't know about what it takes to make music. Like, I don't know personally, but I could relate, because when I make videos, like, you have to do the sound, the freaking your shots and everything. You have to write out a script. Like, it's so much that goes into making like a simple video. Especially today, like I told you, I had a client. That's why we were so late today. Mm-hmm. They wanted like all this done, but they freaking only gave me a day, because they waited till the last minute. They have to turn it in by tomorrow. I was just in there fucking 13 hours editing today, just fucking on this shit.
Straight computer and everything, just focus.
Well, I started here. I was editing here all day, and I went over there like at 5, and fucking I showed them what I had, and then they liked it, but they're like, oh, I could just change a couple pictures. So we're going literally picture by picture, and they're like, oh, no, change this. Oh, I want this one. I want this one. It was my fault, because I gave them the leeway to fucking start doing that shit. But also I wanted them to have a good final product, because I was like, I don't want to just give them whatever, you know. So I just
make the customer happy.
Yeah, that's customers always right, like how they like to say. But yeah, that's crazy, bro. What about your rap? Are you gonna continue rapping?
Yeah, I want to continue rapping, and want to get a little bit, have different type of harmonies and everything else. Right now I have that out there, like the EP Emotions, and that's just letting people hear, you know, I'm out there, like I'm starting and everything else. Yeah. And eventually, I have projects. I have everything planned out how I want to do it. The next thing I want to do is like something more creative, and I want to put actually like a video to it. Like everything I write, I want to put a story to it. That's my main thing. Yeah. Okay. Well, people relate more when you give them something besides just a song. You want them to know what it means. Tell them visually. It could be it could be from the same lyrics, but also visually, it's just, it creates like that. It clicks with you. You know, you remember a certain scene from that song instead of just listening to the music. Like, it's a whole visual medium. It's a whole different type of art. Right. And do you already have a vision, or are you gonna? Yeah. So one of the vision I have with this is pretty much I think it's 4 or 5 parts, and each part is gonna have a different story. And pretty much it's kind of like a high school kind of, you know, that your first lover type of stuff. Like how it goes from you hanging out with your friends and everything else, and then eventually she's with her homies and everything else, and then, you know, the stages of, you know, you meet the girl on a date, you know, you fall in love, whatever, and then some shit happens, and then you go your separate ways. Yeah. So everything has a background story, and every has like a location. So a lot of stuff kind of relates to some of the stuff we experience, especially emotions. Emotions with every song, like I said, there's every name to that song. So everybody, does it actually have a backstory to every song, or do you just? So emotions. So the first song, Vanessa's. Well, not the first song. Veronica. So that song pretty much talks about, in the beginning, there's an intro where she's talking to her homegirl, like, hey, he didn't come again. Like like, why are you still going to him? It's like, because I love him. Like, look at him. Like, he's good looking. And so that song's pretty much like, don't be worried what your friends are saying. Like, they don't know what's happening between us. When they have you alone, they're not with you. They're not experiencing it. And then, so the second song, Deja Vu Girl, is pretty much me meeting girls. Like, I'm not trying to, like, get you in bed or anything. I just want to mess around with your head first.
Oh, shit.
Type of situation. And so there's an intro with my cousin. Like, it's a talk show host, pretty much. And the crowd, like, oh, what do you see in a girl? Like, you know, I see her eye, her personality, the way she puts herself together, that type of situation. And then the third song with Bree is pretty much, I had experience with a girl where she lived in a different place. And so every time we would FaceTime or call, I always leave a voicemail. She would leave me a voicemail. So it was going back and forth. And there was times where I felt like, you know what, there's a connection there, but sometimes it's fading away.
Yeah.
So in the beginning, she's pretty much saying, like, pick up. Like, come on. I just got your recent voicemail. Like, I just want to say, you know, yeah, I'm still thinking about you, but there's still the side of me. And so pretty much it talks about, you know, I understand, but, like, this is how I am. And so it ends with my voicemail pretty much, you know what, I appreciate you calling me, but, you know, I'm trying to look for a girl that's stable, you know, I just want something that I feel comfortable around. And so, and then the next song was, I had a story where I met this girl randomly. And
the names of these girls, are they real girls or?
Oh yeah, they're real girls. But I don't know. I didn't want to put their name out there.
But did you put their actual name or did you change it?
I just changed the meaning of it. So the story. So the first one was Veronica. So pretty much it's talking about.
And they already listened. Did you send them the links and shit?
I didn't send them links. I had They had texted me, and that's me, like, messages like, hey, like, I liked your song and everything. Like, I like how you're doing your name as an acronym and everything else. And it was crazy because I wasn't expecting to hear from them. There's some, like, I haven't heard from, like, months or years. And I didn't send them no links. I just posted on my story, posted on my Snapchat. So it just happened. And the funny thing is, like, I wonder if these girls actually know
that's about them.
So I always told myself, you know, eventually I'm going to mention this and everything else. And so after that song with Bree, it's Indio. Indio is, I met this girl. She, you know, she hit me up. She's like, hey, can I get your Snapchat? You're pretty cute, da-da-da. And it was funny because that day I told them about the story. It just happened that day. And then I had a performance. She came to my performance. Eventually, like, I woke up in her bed. I'm like, oh, damn, all right. I was like, all right, cool. This is happening. And so that song is pretty much Indio. I just want to know a little bit about you. So that's pretty much about it. The next song is with my boy Slum G. So pretty much, the song is called What's the Point? So pretty much is me, you know, I'm giving you all this effort. I'm doing everything I can to make you happy. You know, I'm putting my stuff that I want to do aside from you, but you're not giving me the same. So what's the point?
Yeah, and if you're not getting that same energy back, like, what's the point of that?
So that one was pretty much about an ex that I had, and asking, like, we tried to go back together, you know, see what happens, and then pretty much it didn't feel the same. Like, everything that was there before it's
never the same. Like, you after that first, like, breakup or whatever, it's never gonna be the same. Like, you always have that in the back of your head, like, oh, we already fucking whatever happened to break up, that shit already happened. You're kind of just putting the puzzle pieces back together, but that's just not gonna. I mean, it could work. It hasn't worked for me. Yeah, I don't know how that shit.
No, but, like, I use the one of the verse to say, like, it's like a broken record. So it's just skipping and skipping and skipping. It's never going, like, nothing is, like, progressing at all. Yeah. So what's the point of me being here? What's the point of me wasting my time, wasting your time, wasting my money, wasting your money type of situation?
I get you.
And then the next song is what Stevie raps. Vibe With Me. Vibe With Me is, like, one of my favorite songs. Vibe With Me. I actually listen to that. Yeah. Vibe With Me is pretty much, the way I pictured it was, like, every time I go to a club and everything, I just turned 21, so when I go to the club and I see a girl, I'm like, damn, like, I want to try to, like, let me get in her, like, try to catch her vibe and everything and see what's up. And so pretty much Vibe With Me is pretty much like, are you the person you want me to put a ring on it? There's always the girls like, no, I'm not going to talk to you because either you can put a ring on it, I want to get to know you, or there's those girls like, all right, let's see what happens. Yeah. And so Vibe With Me that's pretty much that vibe. you take it to she takes you to your room, takes you to a 5-star room. You never know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, you just gotta go with it, vibe with the fucking situation, because every situation is different too. And fucking, I don't know, some of those females be trifling sometimes, like, man.
Right.
Talk about it. Tell me about it.
But yeah, so Vibe With Me is just, it's a cool beat. The way I kind of relate to Vibe With Me and like what I got an aspect from it is like a J. Cole type Miguel beat.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I relate to it. Very vibey, just it's chill and everything else. And hopefully eventually we're trying to get a music video for it. We already have an idea and everything, how we're gonna plan it out.
Yeah.
So hopefully that comes out. And then last song is Nessa's End. Nessa's End is pretty much, there's a girl that we were talking back and forth. Like everything was good. Like her parents loved me and everything else, but she was dedicated like in the stuff I was too. So she pushed me, she motivated me, but then it came to a point where she kind of didn't want to be a part of it. So pretty much in the beginning, I said, thank you for your dedication. Thank you for like, being there when I need you. But now like, I'm going to do my own thing. And like, hopefully you listen to the music or like you do whatever you want to do with it. But I'm just letting you know, thank you for all the things you did for me.
Yeah, and like kind of, thank you for the experience, because it changed you. Every experience changes you, even every relationships, even those one night stands that you were talking about. You're a whole different person as soon as you go forward from there. And sometimes you gotta fucking acknowledge that too. But I was gonna ask you, since you're still planning on going to college, like how's that rap stuff? Are you gonna still rap?
I do it. I don't know how I go to school. So right now I'm taking online classes. Yeah, so that works out for me. That's whenever I have time. So I always.
Are you always writing on the?
I'm always writing. So either in the morning I wake up, I don't really have to go to class. I don't have work until.
It's online.
Yeah, so I do that on my time, or I finish it on like a weekend, so I don't have to worry about anything. So on those days in the morning, I'm either brainstorming or let me look at beats I can write to or any ideas that flow through me. And then,
just to start staying creative, because sometimes you don't want to just become complacent and waste time. Because one thing, you don't want to waste time. Whenever you're doing something, think about like, am I doing something that's gonna benefit me moving forward in my career? It could be school, could be your job, could be your personal health and shit. Because that's one thing I've been noticing. Like I just decided to just fucking go all into what I'm doing. Like we all have different goals, but wasting time is my biggest regret. So it's like you just want to fucking take advantage of everything, especially if you're in a good situation where you're you have the opportunity to just be online classes. You don't have to physically be there. Just make sure you're doing the right things that are focusing you in the right direction.
Yeah. So I look at it as like I said, it's like an investment. Like I want to be, I want to get my AA. Like I want to do that, and I want to do music. It's like you gotta figure out what's gonna be your priority.
Yeah.
Right now, I feel like music is my priority. Also with school too, but I feel like right now, since I put myself out there, I have to be accountable. That's like saying if I post a YouTube video saying I'm gonna post every week, you're putting yourself out there like in front of everybody. You have to be accountable about it.
Yeah, because if they start fucking with you, and then you don't do anything else after that, they're like, nah, whatever. He's not even doing it seriously. It was just a hobby. But you wanna portray that image that you're gonna put in the work so that the people can invest their time. Because when someone's fucking with your music or videos or whatever, they're giving up their time to support you.
Right.
And it's cool that like there's a lot of support here, but I mean there's a lot of like people that hate a little bit, but you just gotta keep putting content. And hopefully you get some people to start supporting you, and for those people you gotta make sure you stay accountable for yourself, just to give them value for their investment. Because if they want to support you, so it's hard to support people. Some people just like to fucking support other people that they don't even know. But if you know this person doing something, like, man, fuck that dude. Like,
downers and everything.
Yeah, it's so dumb. Like that's why I just want to encourage more people just to start supporting. Just because like we'd rather support freaking these artists and be invested in these artists that we don't even know that live in fucking the other side of the country and shit. And then somebody over here trying to make it, trying to struggle, they don't fucking support you. So just fucking go all in. I say you go all in because I see you doing I know you want to do school because it's like a safe route, but you should freaking go all in on your rap if you really want to do something with it. That's right. That's what I'm thinking, because I heard you talking about trying to move to school, trying to go somewhere else and shit. It sounds like, I mean, you can still do your raps over there too, but I feel like you have your mindset set up on trying to like focus on school more than your raps, or how do you feel? Or you just trying to balance both?
Right now, because in the beginning of the year, well, the beginning of that semester, I took a break, and so all I had was just music and work. So I got to experience me putting more effort in my music, taking time, especially with this project. It just, even making a project or you making a quota or something, I didn't realize how much time it takes. It takes so much time. Like, you don't realize, like, you stay up until 5 a.m, getting home, you have work at like 6 or 7. Like, there was a time where I literally stayed up just trying to finish up the project, make sure everything was done, and then I had work at 7 a.m. I didn't get home until 6. Try to take like a 10-minute nap, and then go to work, and or just get there early so I didn't fall asleep at home.
Yeah,
it's a lot of work, and it's a lot of time. You have to be patient. That's one thing I can honestly say. I'm very patient about the things I do.
Yeah, it's patience. That's the key. You have to think long term. It could be long term, not like years. You could think years down the road, but also like in a time frame. Like, man, some people just want the results right away, and then everything takes effort, learning, experience, and it's definitely it's all about time.
Yeah, like I know I'm right now. I put myself out there, and I know I can get better and better. Like, I honestly say, out here in the valley, there's so much talent that people don't know about it. There's so much talent.
Exactly, and it's just a great location too.
Yeah, it's where Coachella. Everybody goes to Coachella. That's the one thing that doesn't make sense to me. There's Coachella Fest. You have Stagecoach, but like, I haven't found one person yet that like has like made it from the valley that does music. It hasn't made it to that point. That point where, okay, I'm signed to so and so. I have like either a platinum or gold record. Like, no one's come out here to actually like see what these people have.
Yeah,
there's so much talent, especially with the Desert Drip. I got to experience it and see everybody perform, and like how like everybody's involved. It's cool when people go to performances and everything, but it's like, it'll be even better if you like those people support, because there's people who are like,
like if there's a local show and all the people that were supportive go watch that. That's kind of like one of the things that's kind of been happening over the last couple of years. There's a lot more little events, and it's only the beginning. Like, now you have the Hood, Bart's Lounge. You have these little clubs that are putting events like this. Even the Coachella bar. I don't know if you guys performed over there yet. Because I went the other day. Like, it was my first time going. It was mostly like bands and stuff, but it was a pretty cool vibe. Like, the whole bar is like a whole like hipster vibe. So like our generation type of vibe, you know, like like for young adults, because like that's how the way there's no place like this in the valley, like especially on this side of the valley. Everything's in Palm Springs and Cat City and shit. There's nothing like here in Indio, Coachella. So that's pretty cool to go there. You guys should talk to the owner and shit. Let's have an event there. That shit sounds pretty dope, bro.
I don't think I can never go a day without me packing or drumming or like singing some random shit or just hearing music at all.
That's sick, because music's just like a whole culture, and that's cool because, like you're saying, you have all that background with the marching band, so like you must freaking everything with music. You must freaking love all that stuff.
I love teaching it too. That's what I do for work and everything.
Oh yeah, where do you teach?
So I teach high school, at Stevie High School, and then I teach at elementary school. It's an after-school program.
Oh, okay, for music.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, the after-school program is like it's sports. It's pretty much getting the kids more involved into stuff,
activities to get them off bad habits.
Yeah, because some of these kids either they have they have so many background stories. Like when I first worked there, it was just like. It was something I wasn't expecting, because I know the Coachella side, but I've never gone like deep in Coachella and like hear like some of these kids' stories,
like backstories.
Yeah, and some of these kids, like, I usually get they're not bad kids. They're usually the kids that like have nothing to do, so they just end up doing like bad shit.
Yeah. So
me like taking your anger out, and you're drumming, and just hitting the drum that lets you out. So usually with that, I usually work with like 5th and 6th. And then for high school, it's different. It's more, they're like more, they have a standard. They know that I have a certain way I want to teach. If you don't like it, there's door. You don't have to be here.
So you really like, you put your foot down,
because there's some kids, especially with music-wise, like, I don't know what it is with elementary kids. If you give them something to learn, they learn it so fast.
They're just sponges because they're so...
Yeah, and it trips me out, because the first time I was working there, and I like taught a kid this, and he's like, I don't know how to do it. He's like, I'm like, come back to me. The next day, it's something like, I was just random, I was just playing something hard. And he came back. He's like, "Look, I can play it." And I was like, "What the fuck?" And how long it took me to like learn and play that, and like you just randomly did it. Did I do it right? No, you didn't do it right. You did it right. And so it's cool just to see like that side of the valley and everything else.
That's cool. I coached football a little bit. Yeah, all the people I coached were a bunch of knuckleheads, man. Freaking a bunch of troublemakers, bro. Like, I coach Sonny.
Here's one of them.
Especially Sonny, bro. That dude had a lot of problems, you know.
Everything.
You named it.
No, it's pretty cool. Like I coached like 3 years at the Indio High School. I was coaching the linemen and stuff, so it was pretty cool to get to like know some of the players. And well, how long have you been there? You just started?
I've been there for 3 years.
Oh yeah, so
right when I got out of high school, I was working at a middle school. So I was just volunteering.
Yeah.
And then eventually they're like, "Why don't you like do it somewhere at elementary school and get paid doing it?" I was like, "Oh, bet, let me do it."
It's something you enjoy doing. That's something you might.
Yeah.
You even volunteered to do it. That's cool.
It was weird because I'm just not like kids and anything else. Kids don't have no filter. They'll tell you how it is. Like if they see you like, "Hey, like you need to get a haircut," or like, "Hey, I don't like those shoes." 'Cause I work with all women, so like these kids they'll just say whatever they have to say, and they have no filter. They don't care.
Yeah,
they don't care.
That's what kids are. Kids just. That's what's kind of cool. They just tell the truth. They're like, you know what? I'm gonna fucking tell you how it is.
Yeah.
And then we grow up and we start giving all these like smoke screens, trying not to offend people, and we hold our thoughts and shit. But that's what's kind of cool about kids. Just fucking they don't go fuck. That's how we should be, you know. Like speak your mind. Fuck whatever everybody thinks about you or whatever.
That's what I was trying to tell these kids. Like they're like, "You just tell me how it is." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna sugarcoat to you. Like I'm gonna be honest with you." Because like you said, like when you get into high school and middle school, people tell you like, "Oh no, like you did okay," and like no, like you did bad. Like recognize that you did something wrong, or recognize that you did something really great. Mm-hmm. There's a difference of you sugarcoating, because then if you do that, they're gonna expect that, especially when they adulthood. They expect you like, "Oh
yeah, no. Well, they're being pampered and shit. They're being it builds character, and it makes you better too. If you're being hard on them, you're pointing out the wrongs. One thing too, like just you want to be, what is it, creative criticism?
Yeah.
You don't want to just yell at them, stop doing it wrong. Like that's something when I started coaching, that's the number one thing. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna teach what I want them to do instead of just yelling, because yelling doesn't solve anything. It just gets you mad. It gets you thinking like, I'm gonna fuck up. I hope I don't fuck up. Instead of like, okay, I gotta do it like this. And that's the way to teach. So just fucking.
Yeah, there's some kids you yell at them like, all right, cool. You done yelling at me? You're done wasting your time.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to, like you said, you have to be creative with it. You have to come at different areas and look at it different perspectives. Because some of these kids, like, they can take it. You tell them something bad, they'll like shut down. Or some of these kids be like whatever, I don't even care. Like
just going through one ear out the other. Like they don't go fuck.
Yeah.
Especially if they're grown up in a bad environment, probably their parents or whatever, some shit like that. Do you share your music with the kids? Do you tell them that you make music? Or not?
I don't tell them I make music. They know that I drum and everything.
Yeah, but rap, you don't show.
There's a couple kids. Like I tell them, like, do you do music? Like, yeah. Before I was like making like little beats and everything else, but then eventually I haven't told them that I can like do stuff like rap and like a little bit sing.
Why not? You know?
I don't know, like, cause these kids find out little things, like, cause some of my music, like, yeah, it's cool, but some of it's like, I don't want them to hear that and be like, oh yeah, you know what Mr. D.O.M said? He heard said this. He was talking about vibe with this chick and all that. I'm like, oh wow, don't need to go to work to see that, cause they already make assumptions that it is. Yeah. Most kids, especially working on women.
But I feel like it's part of being a creative, though. Yeah. You can make a song like about murder. It doesn't mean you're killing people on the side. Like it's part of your art, you know. That even the stuff you're writing, maybe you wrote in a certain way to make it feel a certain way. So I feel like you should share it with them. Like that could be a whole another audience that just fucking respects you. Especially because they're younger. Like they will look up to you and be like, wow, that's cool. Like he's making songs. He has an album. He has an EP.
There's one song I have that's not on the EP. Mm-hmm. It's a single, but it talks about, you know, me experiencing stuff like about like family and all the other stuff. Because a lot of those kids, like, you know, my story can be like little to them. Like they can go through like their parents doing this or their parents are not there. So there's one time there's a kid that asked me, like, because they asked me, oh, you went to Shadow Hills High School, or you know, you did all this, like, you must have had it, like, easy and everything else. I'm like, Yeah, I had it. Like, I kind of did have it easy, but you don't know, like, the whole background story of somebody.
Mm-hmm.
That's why when these kids, like, they see these kids, like, oh, no, off the bat, that's a badass kid. Don't even, like, don't talk to that kid. Don't interact with that kid. It's badass. But you don't even know anything about that kid until you know him.
Yeah.
The same thing with listening to other artists. You might, like, hear, okay, that artist is crap, or why even mess around with the artist? He's a nobody. But you don't even know their own background story.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like every person has a story.
Yeah, definitely.
And so they can either share. I know I share my story through music. That's the way I cope. If I'm feeling some type of way, or I need to hear something that kind of motivates me, or I need something that hypes me up if I'm doing something, I always go straight to music. And that's just me. Before, it was just me writing little poems and everything, just about little things that was going on in my head. And so I would write it, and that's a way for me to cope. I feel like with every kid or every person, each individual has a different type of way. Like either with they draw, or they like to dance, or write music, make music, play music,
play sports,
or they just like talking to people. It's little things. That's why when I interact with the kids, I'm always open minded to what that kid likes. If that kid likes to, do something that is art, and the other kids are making fun of him, like, no, that's the way he's doing. Like, sorry that he's really good at art, and you're good at something else.
No, there's a lot of talented kids too, and sometimes like they don't get enough encouragement. Like sometimes they're super creative or they're super talented, and people are like, even their own parents are like, stop wasting your time doing that shit. Like focus on this, and you just discourage these people. Like so sometimes it's good to just have you could be a role. I mean, you're already a role model for them. Just keep encouraging these kids. It's just whatever they're doing, just keep pursuing their dreams, and make their dreams that's something that they could be doing. Because sometimes, again, we think like that's just a hobby. Oh, don't waste your time on a hobby. You can never make it. Yeah, especially in today's time with social media, the access to phones and technology. Like right now, it's the time to act. Like we gotta take, because even 5-10 years from now, it's even gonna be worse. It's be more saturated, more crazy. So
more technology. That's why I always said, like, if I ever had kids, I want to make sure when my kid was doing something that they love, I'm not gonna force them to do something like, no, like I want you to do basketball. That's the only thing you do is basketball.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want you to do band. I don't want you to do water polo. I don't want you to do this. I want you to only do basketball. No, that's like you're forcing your kid to do something that you wanted to do when you grew up, or you didn't get the chance to.
Yeah.
Let that kid be. Let that kid express himself. And I feel like that's one thing. Like when I wanted my name, I didn't want something simple. I didn't want something that was like, oh, let me try this. This sounds cool. No, like everybody knows me by D.O.M. That's what I go by. Like, and I wanted to tell people, like, my dream is pretty much to like, I dream about music. My main thing is like when I get back, or say I make it to the top and everything else, my main thing is to come back to the Valley, have a rec center for like anything that has arts. It means you dancing, means you drawing, anything, and to have these people who sponsor and everything else. Doesn't matter. Come see these kids. Come see the talent from each other. Like see what's going on here. Not just hear what you see on social media. Like actually experience it firsthand.
That's sick. That's a good freaking. That's like your main goal then.
That's my main goal.
To get back, because it is true. We don't have that much stuff here in the Valley especially for creative stuff. Yeah. Especially with the communities, like you said, all these kids, we grow up like in bad neighborhoods or just terrible backgrounds with the parents, or even just kids of immigrants, and just so many different backgrounds that just don't encourage being creative. They don't encourage that. They encourage going to school. They encourage just sticking to what people think is successful, but we're living in a whole different world now. It's just, we gotta step forward, 21st century, stop living in the past and shit.
That's why I always, like, if my kid asks me, like, oh, what did you want to do? Well, I wanted to be this. Well, why didn't you do it?
Yeah.
Well, like, no, I don't want that at all. Like, I always ask my parents, like, Mom, what do you want to be? I wanted to be a teacher. All right, cool. Like, why did you do a teacher? Well, this and this. I'm like, well, okay. And then I asked my dad, like, what did you want to do? My dad wanted to be a DJ. Then my dad wanted to be like the best DJ. Like, he inspired me and everything. I remember coming home and I can hear the music like bump. He had a DJ system and everything. I would just put my backpack on the ground and just run and like just sit there for hours and hours, just see my dad scratching everything.
Does he still DJ and shit?
He stopped because he was working. He's getting more involved in different situations where he wanted to try something different. He wanted to do like a lot of other stuff that he wanted to see if he was good at. My dad's one thing, if he puts his mind to something,
he'll go all in.
He's a techie person. He does a lot of like a lot of tech stuff like with surveillance and everything else. And so I feel like with my kids, I don't want to be that person be like, oh well, the reason I did it was like, no, like I did it.
Yeah,
So,
or at least you fucking going, you gave it your all, because sometimes there will be some situations, but regret's the biggest thing.
yeah,
Regret's the big, and the time to act. Like I have a lot of regrets. Like for YouTube, man, my first, what year I uploaded my first YouTube video? 2007. First YouTube video, 2007, and I was making YouTube videos in 2010, 2011, 12, and I never went like, oh, I'm gonna be a YouTuber. I never even thought of it. I didn't even think of like that could be like a whole career. Like when I was I made a couple Call of Duty videos in 2010. They got a couple thousand views, and I was like, I'm not gonna continue making them because I'm not these guys that are making millions of views and shit. Like I never thought like, oh, maybe if I just keep doing it and keep making them, I'll end up growing. And I never had somebody to tell me that. And I never thought it could be a thing until like 2015 when I first kind of started. And even then I was half-assing it. Right. And that's like two of the biggest things I regret. So this year, the last like 4 or 5 months of the year, and then starting this year, I decided to just fucking go all in. Like, I already wasted enough time. I'm not going to waste another 3-4 years on just fucking posting videos as much as I can. Like, and just always changing. Like I started with book reviews. Mm-hmm. Now I'm fucking making podcasts and fucking blogs and Coachella content. Like and you never know. You just gotta keep trying new things and see what sticks and keep trying.
Because you look back at it, you look like, oh damn, like I'm happy that I did this and everything.
Yeah.
You look at the progression.
And people notice when you're hustling too.
Oh yeah.
If they see you out there putting in music, working on beats, doing this, people are gonna notice. They're gonna notice the hard work. That's one cool thing too. Like they might not be like supporting, watching all your music or whatever, but they know that you're doing it. So maybe they're like, I'm gonna check them out. Like on a random day, like, oh shit, I remember this was dropping some shit. Mm-hmm. And they'll check you out because they see you. It's all about marketing. You gotta market yourself.
Right.
Marketing yourself is key, because if you have the best content, but no one's watching it, it's just gonna be sitting there collecting dust and shit.
Like I told myself, I was surprised. Like once I released my music, I was surprised I got text messages. People were like, I was not expecting this. I was like, damn, like I was expecting you to message me, or I didn't expect you to like tell me that. And like my main thing is like I came at it like I don't even care if I just get one view. If I get somebody's attention just to hear what I have to say and just listen, like that just made my day. Just to see the support, like we did a raffle and everything else, and like how many people like into the raffle. We had like close to like 30 people or something like that did the raffle. And after like giving the baskets and them like, no, like I listened to your stuff, like I love it. Like I had one person tell me like, yeah, like I made like maybe like 2 CDs, and I was like, oh, let me see if they like anything. And I had a person like, oh, like I'm playing this every day in my car. Like that's just to hear that, that's like, damn, I'm doing something right.
Yeah, like you said, even if it's 1 or 2 or 5 listeners, that's 5 people that are investing their time into listening to your shit. And that's how it is. Like you just have to freaking don't think like, oh, I only have 10. Like, oh shit, I have 10. That's cool. Now I'm gonna get 20. Now I'm gonna get 40. Now I'm gonna get 100. Now I'm gonna get, it's all about building. But always take care of those people that are fucking with you since the beginning, because those people are investing their time, and it's hard to invest your time now with all the distractions that we have, fucking Netflix and Hulu and all these music apps and social media. That's pretty dope that people are messing with your shit. And before we take off, anything else you want to tell these guys? Where do you follow you on social media?
Follow me at dreams.of.music.official, or follow me at Goons at Instagram, SoundCloud, Goons. My project's called Emotions.
Do you just have it on SoundCloud?
Yeah, right now I have it on SoundCloud, and then my next project is pretty much I'm gonna go on YouTube. Right now I'm just setting the mood and everything.
Kind of like your foundation, and then from here you're working.
YouTube is the
Spotify, iTunes.
I'm gonna try to do a deal. Like I know that you can do a deal with like Spotify, iTunes, and YouTube,
Tidal, and everything. I think it's I know some guy who's like into that. I'm not really sure how it goes with music. Mm-hmm. For podcasts, I use this thing that lets me post on iTunes podcast and Spotify.
Okay.
So you just have to sign up to his website, and then from there. But I don't know how it works with music, to be honest.
I get you.
Not a rapper. Well, thank you, man.
Appreciate it. Really do.
Good conversation, and I'll definitely have you on in the future for sure. Like next time you drop a project or whenever you want to stop by, I'll always be here. Sounds good, man.
Thank you.
That wraps up episode 11. See you guys next time. Oh, hey, subscribe if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up. And if you're listening on iTunes, give this a 5-star rating and leave a review. And that's it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Looking at my life, I want to find the things. Wake up in the morning, saw my face, I'm in the magazine. Word.